Thank you, Brandon. I'm here with Kenny Smith, the survivor of Hurricane John. Kenny, can you please tell us what happened when this hurricane tore through your town?
Well, the hurricane was unexpected. All the meteorologists thought that was just going to be another storm, but they were wrong. Very wrong. That night, I was watching a hockey game when the power went off. I quickly stumbled across the room in search of a flashlight. My wife was doing the same. My attention was then caught by the wind howling like a wolf. It was the loudest roar I've ever heard. The rain pouring down sounded like a bullet every time it hit the roof. I knew that this was no ordinary storm. I called my wife over, for I knew that we would have to leave. Then, the roof flew off and was torn to pieces. My wife screamed, so I hugged her and told her that everything was going to be alright. We then left the house, and outside everything was blowing around. It was an awful sight. But we had to keep on going. A few minutes later, I noticed that my wife was trailing behind me, so I grabbed her hand and tried to help her. But just then, a huge wind nearly knocked me off my feet, so I grabbed the light post. I was still holding on to my wife, but I felt her slipping away and being dragged out by the wind. And just in a few seconds, she was gone. It was awful. She was taken away from me by this evil. But I knew I had to go on. I found a shelter, and I just started to cry.
That must have been very hard for you. I really feel your pain. It must have been really hard to have a loved one slip away from you like that. But can I ask you one more question? What are you going to do now that this storm is finally over?
I don't know. All my belongings were taken away from me. My house, my family, my friends, and my wife.
Well, that was a very sad story from Kenny Smith. We wish you the best of luck. Back to you, Brandon.
I am the Trans-Canada and your sources to give you a BSMB exclusive on a major car accident. A 52-car pileup leaves 23 injured and 6 dead. I am here with Bob Martin to give you the inside scoop on the story. Could you enlighten us?
Yes, I can, Joe. Well, I was driving to Côte St. Luc for my brother's birthday. I haven't seen him in a while, so I was really excited. I was driving very recklessly, though. Therefore, I didn't realize that there was someone coming up behind me in my blind spot. So as I went into the left lane, he ran into the back of my car, where I swerved out of control and hitting cars all around me. The banging and pushing felt like it was never going to stop. It was horrible. And then finally it stopped, and I got out of my car to look behind me and see a huge line of cars, all destroyed and all banged up. It was a very stressful moment as I finally walked towards the cars to see if there was anyone inside. However, some people weren't as lucky as I was, because I came out with just a few cuts and bruises. I went to one car where there was one guy that had a huge cut across his face, a huge cut across his chest. I checked his pulse, but he was dead.
This must have been a very stressful moment for you, but we're glad that you're okay. Thank you for spending your time with us. Back to you, Brandon.